The wedding had reached the ring exchange ceremony when my husband suddenly asked for a 5-minute pause. He then turned around, knelt on one knee before his first love, and said, "Yinyan, I once promised you that I would propose to you in front of everyone. So, if there is a next life, would you marry me?" Lu Yinyan covered her mouth, nodded, and tearfully threw herself into my husband's arms. She then turned to me and said, "Sister Ranran, although I didn't have the chance to marry Shiken in this lifetime, I hope you can take good care of him for me." Amidst the whispers and pointing fingers of the guests, the groom was locked in a passionate kiss with someone else. Everyone was waiting to see the bride become a laughingstock. But I, with a smile, walked towards Lu Yinyan and handed her my bridal bouquet. How could there be no chance? Since you can't let go of this dirty cucumber, I'll let you have him now. For 10 years, I had humbled myself, doing everything to please Fu Shikan's family, yearning for their approval. Yet, it was only because of the child in my womb that this belated wedding came to be. I thought that after marriage and having a child, Fu Shikan would finally settle down. But now, watching the man who should have vowed to spend his life with me, kissing someone else with such fervor, even with my nails digging half an inch into my palms, the pain in my heart was suffocating. Suddenly, I didn't want to endure it anymore. At my words, Lu Yinyan clutched her chest and collapsed into Fu Shikan's arms. Without hesitation, he carried her urgently to the hospital, not forgetting to curse me as vicious and petty before leaving. He said that what could have been resolved in 5 minutes, I had to make everyone so uncomfortable. Neither my in-laws nor my parents could stop Fu Shiken. So, I bore the brunt of all the remaining anger. The MC held the congratulatory speech, looking at me awkwardly. My mother, ashamed of me, cried and hit me, urging me to chase after Fu Shiken. My father snorted coldly, telling me to fend for myself, and forcefully pulled her away. My mother-in-law, who had always looked down on me, now coldly scolded me as a country bumpkin who didn't know how to behave. She admonished me that to marry into a family like theirs, I had to learn to swallow my grievances, not to publicly embarrass my husband. For the first time in 10 years, I felt that sincerity does not necessarily beget sincerity. I no longer wanted to be the Fu family's daughter-in-law. They left with the remaining guests, telling me to walk home alone and reflect. I stood at the doorway, holding up the hem of my white wedding dress, watching the crowd drift away. Behind me was the silent, empty hotel. Before me was a sudden, torrential downpour. After the Fu family and the others had left, my parents drove up to me. My mother rolled down the window, and seeing them, all my grievances burst forth. My eyelashes fluttered, and a string of tears rolled down as I hoarsely called out, "Mom." Just as I reached to open the car door, the sound of the lock clicking shut came from inside. I looked at them in shock. My mother, exasperated, admonished me. "I told you not to listen to me before. Now just do as your in-laws say, reflect on your actions, and find a way to win Shiken back. After all, you're carrying their grandchild, no matter what. Yu Yinyan can't surpass you." "Mom, how can you say that? ... Double quotes. My mother ignored me, rolled up the window, and the car sped away. I bit my lip hard, watching the receding taillights, and the tears I could no longer hold back fell.